This is Tony Hendrick with Painting Spirit, and today my subject's going to be listening. So last night I made the decision to put on my snowshoes and go outside for a long walk out to the woods. And I guess I'll set this up a little bit because my subject today is about listening. And I wanted to just kind of give a general sense of kind of listening that I'm going to be talking about, and it's a subtle one. It's a soft whisper. It's the listening that I've been talking about with these painting sessions where I'm continually pointing to this part of me that isn't really thinking so much as it is responding or basically listening to the subtleties, tuning in. And so on Friday evening, we had to go pick up our car from the mechanic, and he lives out past where we used to live in a old farmhouse that we rented. And when I was driving by it, it just brought up the memory of me. And this was when Alan was really young. I'd look for things to do with Alan. And one of the things that I found was fun was to take him out to the woods behind the house there, across the field. And I'd go out there by myself too. And it was just such a fond memory, exploring the woods back there. And that memory was so nice, and it got me thinking and about how I haven't spent a whole lot of time outside this winter. And it's such a big part of what I enjoy in life is going out in nature. And my mind took that really good feeling and turned it into something that wasn't so good. By Sunday, being self-employed, I've learned that there's a part of my personality that wants to make sure I'm doing everything I need to be doing to have my business be functioning, I guess, is the best way of putting it. And because I'm my own boss, sometimes I'm not the greatest boss, and I make myself work the weekends too. So I've become aware of that part of my personality and take Sunday off, make sure I'm not trying to do stuff on the computer or, get something done from the week that I didn't complete in my mind. So it takes a little bit of winding down on Saturday for me. And Sunday, I kind of in this chill space and thought to myself, well, why don't you do that? You haven't been out to the woods that we have. It's quite a distance, quite a walk to get there. Snow's deep and like I said, my mind was kind of taking that experience of that memory that came up on Friday about going out to the woods and turning it into something where I was basically beating myself up. You haven't been out, and kind of getting into this, I should do this type of a thing. And what I ended up doing is just taking a nap. I woke up, watched a 15-minute YouTube thing, and then just, without really even thinking too much about it, just decided, one of the thoughts that I had was I got rid of my cross-country skis. The boots on them had just gotten kind of disintegrated. The skis were kind of falling apart, the plastic on them, and so I decided to get rid of those, and that was one of the things my mind was kind of shouting about. You're going to have to go out and buy some skis again, get yourself outside in the winter, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I thought, I got these just cheap plastic snowshoes that we bought for taking Alan out in the snow. Why don't you just go grab those, put those on, and so what does all this have to do with listening? Well, I listened to that part of myself that was enjoying the memory of going outside. It was just pure, simple, subtle, quiet, not loud, not filled with guilt, not filled with shame, blame, judgment. It's just an enjoyable memory. And I tell you what, when I got out to the woods, I think I just added 10 years to my life. That's how it felt to me. Post a video of this little leaf that I was listening to flapping in the wind against the tree that it was hanging on. It was just magical. It was magical. There was tracks all around the woods. All kinds of probably fox, coyote, deer, just every critter possible, and just full of life. Saw some deer kind of scatter. When I entered their home, I also took a moment to honor that I was entering their home. When I was heading out there, I was feeling a bit winded. It was one of the things my mind was shouting about, is you're letting yourself, not letting yourself go, but just the whole, I haven't been doing enough to keep myself in shape to practice Tai Chi, but kind of getting out and doing aerobic type stuff like that. So I was feeling it a little bit walking through the heavy snow with the snowshoes. It's a bit of a workout. But on the way back, that pretty much subsided. I did feel some achiness in certain parts of my legs. But you know, it was kind of like a thank you type of ache. It was a really good ache. Kind that says, I've been really wanting you to use, like my muscles were telling me, I've really been wanting to get out there and do stuff. Thank you for using me. That kind of thing. I'm just sort of playing with this painting today, just a little winter landscape out on the dunes. I don't know where it is. It's probably not Grand Haven, maybe Holland, I think. I stopped there with a friend. Holland State Park, just the dunes and the snow on the dunes there. Just a spur of the moment type thing we did. I don't remember what exactly we were doing out in Holland then, but just like the snow out there on the dunes there peeking out. So listening to me has to do with that subtle thing. It's about, last week I talked about being heart-centered. The mind wants to kick and scream and shout. The heart is much more subtle, and it's going to be speaking to you through your feelings and your emotions. And it's going to be giving you things that feel good. That's this kind of listening that I also try and tap into when I'm painting. Like that little spot there I just did in the sky. Just felt good to me to have that little bit of white open up there. Let's see here with this tree. Just a little tree there. So pay attention to the subtle parts of yourself. Recognize that was another thing I just said to myself. Well, this is an opportunity to just listen to my heart. And that's what I did. And like I said, it felt like I added 10 years to my life. That's how wonderful an experience it was. Just simply, it wasn't any big deal just to go grab those snowshoes. I knew where they were. This is actually kind of a nice little painting. So anyway, this week, see if you could practice paying attention to the soft, subtle parts of yourself, those little nudges, and listen to them. And not just listen, but, take them to heart. If it's calling you to get out and do something, it might not be for you going out to the woods, but if it is, maybe there's a favorite park of yours you haven't been to in a while. Those kinds of experiences are what fuel what's behind your art. All the wonderful sounds and all the variety out there in those woods. That's what fuels the art. So get out your brushes, see what you can do this week. We'll see you tomorrow.